Hello everyone, and welcome to another counter build. This time we're fighting Arch Tempered Teostra using a hammer. The opening of the fight, what I'm doing here is I'm putting down a barrel bomb and blowing it up to kill myself. That's because the naked build that you see on me right now, I have the Fortify decoration on, and I'm going to trigger Fortify twice. After I've triggered it twice, I'm going to get a big buff to both attack and to defense. That's what the Fortify skill does, and so when you're playing single player, you can really abuse it basically, and that's what I'm doing. It's going to make the fight so much easier and safer, right? So yeah, here we go, we're going to need one more barrel bomb. Alternatively, you don't have to do what I'm doing here. Alternatively, you can let him naturally kill you. I just do this to get it out of the way, because once I've died twice, I can go ahead and eat at the canteen, I can eat all of my buffs. It's a pretty nice way to start. Alright. So now I go in and I swap out with my other build. Keep in mind that your other build also has to have the Fortify skill on it in order for this to work. And of course, as usual, you'll be able to see the build at the end of the video, but you probably want to watch the whole video so that you get an idea of what you're supposed to be doing while you fight Arch Tempered Teostra. You can see my Palico has the Bond Ball. Bond Ball is going to be able to put Teostra to sleep one time. And here I am, I'm trying to decide what I want to eat here. I've already got, well, let's see what I do. I'm curious. I decide I'm going to go ahead with the custom meal. Looks like I've moved over to the Elemental tab. And I decided I want Polisher and a little bit of Elemental Resistance. Now I'm jumping over to the Defense tab and I'm eating the fresh ingredients. The fresh ingredients are going to increase the chance that the food skills actually activate. And they did. I got the Polisher skill and that's what I was going for. Alright, so we're getting close to ready to fight him. There's the Demon Drug. Demon Drug gives you a little bit of a damage boost. It lasts until you die, just like your canteen meal. And now we're ready to probably jump over to the fight. I was checking to see where he was. So, he should be pretty close. I actually remember this. He is pretty close, but I think he actually gets up and flies away. It's very annoying. So yeah, if you, if you're interested in learning more about Arch Tempered Teostra, I just finished the armor review for his Gamma set, and that's the second time I've reviewed the armor. My old review was one of my earliest armor reviews that I ever did. It might have been the first one, I can't remember. But yeah, I just released the fresh review. You can find it on my YouTube channel, or you can click in the link here, or there'll be a link in the comment section. That's where I'm going to put it. Alright, I'm checking my map because he's not where he's supposed to be, so I gotta run all the way over there. It's very frustrating. The area that he's in is usually where Arch Tempered Teostra normally shows up, so I'm kind of scratching my head because, I didn't expect for this opening of the fight. I'm usually used to him fighting down in the lava area first, and that's just not going to happen here, so I'm just going to play it by ear, I guess. That's an English idiom. I'm not sure any of you guys will understand what that means, but, well, some of you will, but not everybody. Okay, so I have my Mega Barrel Bombs, and he's just sitting there. He's not going to attack until you attack, so we get a Barrel Bomb opening. And Barrel Bombs are a friend of yours, okay? If you can bring all the ingredients you need to craft, a whole bunch of Mega Barrel Bombs, you really should, because they're very useful. And I have both my mantles here, but I'm not using them yet. I don't want to use them. That's because I'm not really sure what's going to happen with Arch Tempered Teostra, and when he does show up, if things are looking pretty bad, I want to be able to use especially my Temporal Mantle, I want to be able to use it. So here we are, we're getting aerial attacks of all things. Oof, I just got a hit. Look at the damage that did to me. This is Arch Tempered Teostra. He did almost no damage to me with that explosion. Really nice, right? That's the effect of the Fortitude skill. And here I am, I just got my first mount. I'm not really interested in finishing it, I just want to get back to damaging him. But in hindsight, I think I would have gone through with it. So if you were playing, you could stay on him, you could stay mounted, and you could bring him down if you wanted. I was just feeling a little impatient myself. I was like, nah, I want to get back to hitting him while I have him at the top of this hill. It's not all about time. Speedrunners want to get it done in the fastest amount of times, but if you're just trying to defeat him, then, take your time, do things the easy way, right? If you've mounted a monster, bringing him down and getting a knockdown from that mount is the easiest method. It's not the fastest method, but it's easiest. You can see my white sharpness bar is going down a little bit. Of course, I don't have like the Draken set on or anything like that. I think that the Draken set would have been too dangerous to wear. We certainly could have, but I think it would have been too dangerous for the average user, so we've gone with more of a defensive build. Like I mentioned before, the build is at the end, but you'll see I'm wearing the Kulv'Taroth chest piece. What is that? Kulv's Ire. And what I've done is I've finished the stun resistance skill, and I think that's really useful against Arch Tempered Teostra. He loves to stun you. He's a very fast-moving monster. Alright, and you'll notice this throughout the fight that there's the second mount. You'll notice that I do spend a lot of time actually dodging his attacks. I shouldn't have mounted there, by the way, because there's Kushala Daora. The correct thing for me to do would have been to let Kushala Daora and Teostra get into a turf war. It's like a free 2,000 damage, and then Kushala Daora leaves, so he's out of your hair. But I mounted instead, and that was a mistake as well. So I should have stayed on the mount the first time, and the second time I should have avoided the mount. I should have had more awareness that Kushala Daora was near. The very first thing I do when he comes down, rather than attacking him, the very first thing I do is I put on the Temporal Mantle, because I know Kushala Daora is really going to get right in my hair and mess everything up. Now they're kind of poking at each other, but they're not getting... since you've interrupted Teostra, an interrupt might be like putting him to sleep, paralyzing him, knocking him down with a KO, or mounting him. Since that occurred, you're not going to get the turf war with Kushala Daora. It's unfortunate, but it's true. So whenever you're in this area of the map with Arch Tempered Teostra, it's a very good idea to, you can do a little bit of damage to him, you can poke him, but you need to make sure you don't mess up the turf war with Kushala Daora and Teostra. That's my advice. Obviously, it didn't work out for me at all that way, but I'm going to be okay. Alright, I just got the sharpen. You'll notice the green bar around my white sharpness bar. That's the, what is it called? Perfect Polish skill, I believe. Basically, for a while, I'm going to be able to attack without it affecting my sharpness. It's a really great skill, especially for weapons where you're not using the Draken set and it has only a small amount of white sharpness. And you can see that the Temporal Mantle is really keeping me alive here. It's really been my friend. Without the Temporal Mantle, I probably would be doing no damage to Teostra, and I would just be getting hit the whole time. Instead, I actually got a few hits in on him, and I've taken no damage, and not really had to waste any of my items or anything, or been in danger, if that was possible. I'm not sure. I have a ton of defense, so it's hard to say if I would have been in danger. Alright, and it looks like Arch Tempered Teostra has decided himself to move on to the next area, so we're going to try and keep up with him because we want to drop that boulder on him early. I don't think I managed to. I'm trying to remember. Oh, I do. Okay, so if you drop that boulder early, you're going to get a knockdown. If he fully lands and you knock the boulder on him, he doesn't actually get knocked down. So I'm going to get a double knockdown because I got that boulder early. You know, make sure that you don't miss that boulder either. If you mess this part up, you lose a lot of damage in this fight, and you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that both of the boulders are landed. So that was the first boulder. We got to get the second one now, right? Really, really important. This is tons of free damage. So I'm looking at it, I'm looking at him, and I know he's going to follow me over, so I'm going to drop it right here. And there it is. It hit the tip of his tail, actually. I got lucky. And now I'm going to bash him on the head. This is what the hammers do best against Arch Tempered Teostra, as well as Lunastra, I suppose. They both are pretty weak to KO damage, stun damage, so it's really important that you keep the damage up on their head. Hammers, hunting horns, sticky ammo on the, what am I trying to say, the heavy bowguns and the light bowguns, all of that's really important. Okay, so now we have the Fireproof Mantle, highly recommended. You could use the Rocksteady Mantle, but I feel like Kushala Daora's most dangerous attacks are his elemental attacks. That's why the Fireproof Mantle is so valuable. It's a mantle that lasts a long time and it comes back quickly. It's really valuable. Rocksteady's fine too. I just feel like if you're trying to play defensive, if you're trying to be careful to make sure that you win, Fireproof's going to be a better option. You can see I'm using the Brutal Upswing, trying to get that KO, and it actually came out this time. So that's the Big Bang. I'm going to get the Big Bang combo on his head. Very nice. Lots of damage there. Lots of damage. That's a lot of damage. We like to say that, right? Okay, so he went into a jump there, and I tested to see if I could actually sharpen. Lucky for me, I could. And now my hammer's going to do a lot more damage. When you have the white sharpness, you get damage modifier, that's larger than the blue sharpness, and that's why you want that. I also got the perfect polish to activate too, right? Alright. So he's taking a lot of damage at this point. because we got both the boulders on him. We're getting a lot of good big bangs on him. You'll notice, once again, I'm dodging a lot of his attacks, and if you're going to play with the hammer, you actually have to take the time to practice and be able to do that. With Teostra's moves, you just kind of have to recognize them, and then when they're about to happen, when they're about to hit you, that's when you dive. You dive right at the last second, and it's going to work. Right, it's going to actually dodge the move. And if you're going to be fighting Arch Tempered Teostra, oddly enough, one of the safest places to hang out at is just around his head, actually. It doesn't seem that way, but it is. If you stay on the left and the right side of his head, it seems like it's a little safer. Also, if he turns his back to you and he goes into that tail wag, you can usually punish that move. Once again, he did a blast attack. It barely hurt me. I mean, he would have to land that light. What do you think, 10 times in order to kill me? So I have plenty of leeway, I feel very safe, and this is all because of the fortitude skill and because we built the character correctly. We're wearing the fireproof mantle, right? And we have a hammer as well, that helps too. We have our Palico, once again, with the bond ball. We're waiting for the Palico to put him to sleep, right? Oh, I thought that was it, actually. He looked a little bit like he was going to sleep. Oh my gosh, those roars too. I hate Teostra's roars. If we could have fit earplugs onto the build, we would have. I'm still learning myself how to dodge it perfectly. I'm sure it can be done though. I was realizing in the fight that I was messing up the timing of my dodge. Okay, so the radar turned white. That means he wants to run to the next location. I do try to stop him with one of my flash pods. It must not have been aimed well enough because it doesn't knock him out of the air. Flash pods are really valuable for this fight because when he goes to fly away, you're able to knock him down 3 times and get a nice little combo off on his head, so you're definitely going to want to have flash pods for this fight. Flash pods and barrel bombs. Alright, we're in the lava area. Notice I haven't aggroed him yet, so I'm doing a trick here. Anyone can do this. Doesn't matter what weapon you have. I haven't aggroed him. I put some mega barrel bombs down, and he just runs into him. Because that's what, Arch Tempered Teostra does. He's a very physical monster who just chases you, right? So as soon as he aggroed to me, he ran straight into the mega barrel bombs. Free knockdown, basically. And even if he doesn't get knocked down, you're getting free damage. So right there, I think I dodged way too early. He stands all the way up on his hind legs, and then like a split second after he does that is when he roars. I guess I'm used to monsters. Oh, this is a tricky point. So it looks like I was in danger, but I really wasn't. If you were paying attention, you would have seen my Palico actually put a nice little heal on me before Teostra's supernova went off. And now Teostra's asleep. So this is another benefit to playing by yourself, playing this solo. Not only do you get the Fortify skill, not only does the monster KO sooner, not only do you have to deal with the less health on the monster, but you also get to bring your Palico who can't be killed and does things like heal you when you're in a lot of danger and puts the monster to sleep if you gave him the bond ball. There's our wake up attack, 625 damage, plus both of the barrel bombs is another 360 damage. So close to 1,000 damage right there, and now that he's knocked over, we're getting the big bang out. It's all about the big bang, right? You'll notice barrel bombs, right? I've used them 3 times now. I've used 3 sets of mega barrel bombs, and that's the kind of things you have to do to make this fight easy, right? You have to think that way. Alright, he is limping now. This is what I was talking about. Easy knockdown. Easy knockdown into an easy combo. Trying to go for the big bang, but I don't think I get it. Yeah, he moves. Might have just gone for the other combo. I don't remember what it's called. Charged up swing or something like that. Yeah, I don't remember the name of it. But I don't think there's enough time to get the big bang to complete on a monster who's been knocked out of the air because of the flash pods, unless you're literally standing right there when he lands. Yeah. Okay, we got the temporal mantle on again. We're pretty safe. I'm at half health, but I'm not really worried about it. None of his attacks have been that strong. I mean, they are. He's Arch Tempered Teostra. He's actually very strong. It's just the fortitude skill. That's all it is, guys. Fortitude and eating a proper meal, Okay, last flash pod. I was really far away that time. I don't know why. I just ran too far away. Yeah, I don't know why I tried for second big bang. Actually, I remember I hesitated with the big bang. But there we go. There's a KO, and you definitely have time for a big bang combo on a KO. So we're just getting tons of damage in on this guy. And you can see that my health augmentation has been healing me up. It's really convenient. And now you'll see me scrolling through my items for my Farcaster, and I'm going to get out of there. So why did I do that? It's because I know I'm out of flash pods. I wasted the first flash pod, right? I know I'm out of them, I know he's hurt pretty bad. He wants to go to his nest. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is refresh my Mega Barrel Bombs. I'm nice and safe. I'm in no rush. You know, this isn't a speed run. That's what you have to remind yourself that. Take your time when you're fighting Arch Tempered Teostra. Let him attack first. Learn to dodge his moves. And when you have an opening to attack him, go in and attack him. Make sure you drop those 2 boulders in the middle of the map. Do your best to get the Turf War with Kushala Daora. You saw that I messed it up because I mounted him. I shouldn't have done that. And get your mounts in as well. You saw that I mounted him twice in the fight. That means you could get 2 mounts in the fight, and 2 mounts means 2 knockdowns. Alright, we're getting all set up on him. Rock Steady Mantle, 2 Mega Barrel Bombs, charged swing here. Here we go. I messed that up. I was a little too close. I know that his roar isn't going to interrupt me, so I went ahead and charged my next move, and he's dead. Okay, took a little faster than, you know, somebody who really knows what they're doing with the hammer, or somebody who didn't use the opening of the fight to set up Fortify, but it was easy. That's the key takeaway here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the build. We have the Elementalist decoration. You can see the sharp jewel down on the Empress Coil as well. And then after that, we take Vitality, we finish Stun Resistance, and we just try to take as much Affinity as we can. For the augmentations, you saw that a Health Regen augmentation and an Affinity augmentation was there. The other thing I'll point out is that when your Affinity isn't high enough, you don't want to max out Crit Boost, you want to focus on getting more Affinity. So my rule is, at 60% Affinity, I only take 1 level of Crit Boost. The rest of my slots should go toward Affinity. Alright, that's everything. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.